You ever scroll through your phone or just look around and feel like everyone is just angry all the time? Well, today we're jumping into a story that digs right into that feeling. It's called The Frozen Explosion, and it's all about why the world seems so furious and asks a pretty big question. Who's turning up the heat? So the whole thing kicks off with a character named Evan asking this question. And honestly, it's a question we've all probably asked ourselves, right? You're surrounded by all this noise and negativity, and you're thinking, what am I supposed to do with all this? Do I just bottle it up, or do I start shouting too? It's a tough spot to be in. The story gives this feeling a name, the frozen explosion. And it's a great way to put it. Think of it like a giant soda bottle being shaken up. People are constantly being fed this diet of hate, fear, and anger. And they get so full of it, so fed up, that they're just waiting. Frozen, ready to explode the second someone hits unpause. So how do you make a frozen explosion? Well, according to this story, there's a recipe. First, you get the media to constantly push dark, angry emotions. Then you make sure people have no way to actually deal with those feelings, no release valve. Next, and this is a big one, you make sure everyone is always blaming someone else. It's never your fault, it's always the other guy. And to top it all off, you have these shadowy figures, the tempters, who are secretly stirring the pot just to watch the chaos unfold. Okay, so all that pressure has to go somewhere, right? The story now takes us to a city that is literally at its breaking point. A huge crowd is gathered, and they are not looking for answers. They need a target. They are demanding an enemy. And their chant is, well, it's chilling. It's not complicated. They're just shouting, "We want war." Think about that. They're past the point of wanting justice or solutions. They just want an outlet, a fight, for all that anger that's been built up inside them. And how does the government respond? Oh, it's almost funny if it weren't so sad. An official comes out and basically says, "Hey, we know you're angry, so how about you get mad at this fake, super complicated climate crisis?" It's a total deflection. They're offering this vague, untouchable problem when the crowd wants something real to punch. Yeah, the crowd isn't buying it for a second. They shout right back, making it crystal clear. They say, look, give us an enemy target. We want something we can actually aim our violent, destructive energy at. They're not looking for peace. They are literally begging for a battle. And then, just as everything is about to completely fall apart, the story throws a massive curveball. An email goes out. Just a simple email with a bombshell message. The Savior is coming back. Tomorrow. Suddenly, all that worldly chaos gets put on hold for a spiritual event of epic and kind of weird proportions. So the believers in this story, they call themselves absolvers, and they are thrilled. But you gotta hear why they're so happy. It's not about enlightenment or saving the world. Nope, their goal is simple, an eternal vacation. They think they've just hit the cosmic jackpot.
So what did they do to earn this incredible prize? Well, their list of good deeds is pretty wild. Apparently, they get points for just waiting around to be rescued, for filming crimes on their phones instead of actually, helping. They even plan to go on one last bender before getting forgiven. And of course, their biggest move was blaming anyone who didn't believe what they did for everything wrong with the world.
And this slide just lays out the massive disconnect perfectly. On the one hand, you have the people's demands. Basically, take away all our responsibility, give us a free vacation, and we want it now. But on the other hand, you have the Savior's actual message. Become better, evolve, do greater things, master your own power. It's like they're speaking two completely different languages.
This line from the Savior just cuts right to the heart of it. He shows up, and he's not impressed. He's disappointed. He's basically saying, I gave you all this time, and I expected you to grow, to build something amazing, to do greater things.
So, what was mankind's idea of greater things? Oh, this is the best part. They proudly show off their achievements. They figured out how to make whiskey, vodka, and beer, not just wine. They genetically engineered super strong marijuana, and they claim to be filled with a holy smoke spirit. They took a message about spiritual growth and turned it into a justification for getting wasted.
So the Savior cuts through all the noise and just asks them straight up. He throws down the gauntlet. Okay, after all this time, will all the masterful spiritual warriors please step forward? It's a direct challenge. Show me what you've become.
And the answer? Absolute silence. Crickets. Not one person takes a step. They had been taught to be victims, to wait for a hero. The idea that they were supposed to become the heroes themselves, it never even occurred to them. That silence says everything.
This is it, the climax. The crowd's confusion and disappointment boils over into pure, arrogant anger. They didn't get what they wanted, and now they're ready for a fight. This is the final confrontation. And their argument is just mind-blowing. They actually tell the Savior, "We are the majority, so you have to do what we say." They're trying to use mob rule, the power of numbers, to bully a divine being into giving them what they want. It's unbelievably arrogant. When their demands fail, they go to their plan B, which is somehow even crazier. Someone shouts out the plan. On the count of 3, everybody jump. The idea is, if they all jump, he'll have to save them. It's a leap of, well, truly blind faith. And they actually do it. People start jumping from buildings, from airplanes, all of them completely convinced they'll be magically caught and carried off to paradise. It's total madness, all of it fueled by a belief they never once thought to question. And the result is exactly what you'd expect. A total disaster. As bodies start hitting the ground, our narrator, Evan, just says one perfect, understated word: ouch. It's this moment of dark comedy that really highlights how completely absurd the whole situation is. After the dust settles, the Savior finally spells it out for them. He tells them the real problem wasn't some outside enemy. The problem was their own fantasy. This proud, arrogant belief that they were owed a free ride to an eternal vacation without having to do any of the actual work. The crowd tries to throw out a few last excuses, but they get shut down hard. They cry, "It's not our fault," and the reality is, you fed your own enemy with your negativity. They say, "But we can't do it." The reality, you had 2,000 years to figure it out. And the final, desperate plea, "You abandon us," and the answer comes back, "I was always with you inside your own conscience." And that leads us to the single most important message in the entire story. No one is coming to wave a magic wand and fix everything. No hero is going to clean up this mess. The responsibility lies right where the problem started. Mankind created it, mankind must fix it. And that's where the story leaves us, with its really powerful, maybe even uncomfortable question. Because if there are no more excuses, if there's no hero coming to the rescue, then who's left to do the work? Who does that leave?